Greetings and welcome to today's Extraordinary Connection. My name is Pastor Devin and I serve here at Romeo United Methodist Church. Today I was wondering how many of you out there you currently have or have had in the past a beloved family pet? Maybe it was a dog or a cat, a bird or a fish, maybe something even a little more exotic like a snake or a lizard of some sort, something a little bit more on the wild side. People do love their pets, don't they? And I'm just as guilty as anyone. Part of that may have something to do with the fact that for the majority of those shutdown months, had it not been for our dog Chewbacca, I would have found myself in an otherwise completely empty building. He was my partner and my companion. And even as I'm recording this right now, he's pressed up here in his favorite spot, right here next to me, just slightly pushed up against my leg, letting me know he's here and making sure I haven't gone anywhere. For as much of a pain as he can be sometimes, he has been here with me through the ups and downs of these past 18 months. Just recently, I read that it's estimated that over $100 billion was spent on pets in the United States in 2020 for their care. Well, I'm sure a large amount of that went to providing for their needs, the food and treats, the vet visits, those ridiculous costumes we have to put them in at Halloween. There is one other thing that I think a great deal of money is spent on for pets, especially for dogs, I suppose, and that is for training. Because it's the strangest thing, but those cute and adorable puppies that we love to see pictures of, we love to share with friends, they're left to their own devices. They can become a terror on four legs, can't they? There's no limit to the things they'll chew up, get into, and flat out make a mess of. And that's why I'm sure a portion of that $100 billion that was spent on pets. Well, I'm sure a portion of that at least goes to those trainers and training facilities. And this week I saw a photo that it made me stop and made me laugh. So let me show you here. There it is. The little guy there told his dad that he wanted to learn how to train his dog. And his dad said there are lots of training videos on YouTube. So there he is, showing them all to his dog. If only it were that easy, right? I mean, I could certainly handle sitting the dog down in front of the screen and having him learn all those commands, sit and stay, roll over, all of those things, all the proper ways to behave. That would be a training I could get behind. But of course, we know that's not how it really works, not in the least. I've done those puppy kindergarten classes and wherever they graduate to after that. And there wasn't a screen, a tablet, a phone in sight. Instead, it took a lot of hard work. It took consistency and repetition. It took building some trust. It took effort to train the dog to know what was right and what was wrong, what he was allowed to do and what he wasn't. It took effort. And this got me thinking about our lives as Christians and our faith. How often do we allow it to become something we attempt to learn from a screen or maybe from a book? Do we let our training become a static thing, something done before us, something that happens to us, but not something that we're actively participating in? And what sort of example does that set for others? Well, these questions, these reflections, they led me to the text in John 13 and this encounter that happens between the disciples and Jesus. We're going to start in John 13 with verse 12. It reads, after he had washed their feet, had put on his robe, and had returned to the table, he said to them, do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, for that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have set you an example, that you also should do as I have done to you. Very truly I tell you, servants are not greater than their master, nor are messengers greater than the one who sent them. If you know these things, You are blessed if you do them. Then Jesus continues a few verses later in verse 34, saying, I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. It's no surprise to us when we read the scriptures to see Jesus doing the work, doing what is necessary. We see it time and again in the scriptures when Jesus isn't at all afraid to roll up his sleeves and get in there, get dirty, and do the necessary, sometimes difficult work. But in this scripture, Jesus also reminds his disciples, Jesus reminds us that he's expecting us to do likewise. That our training, our growing, our maturing in faith, it doesn't happen just sitting idly by, having the training happen before us. We cannot learn all we need to learn from simply reading the book. We have to be willing to get out there and do the work, to love the way Jesus loved, to serve others with our lives. And just as importantly, not only will this help us grow, help us mature in our faith, it will help others to know the love of Christ. They will know who we serve. They will know whose example we follow. They will see the light of Christ shining brightly through us. It will be on display for all the world to see. So, my friends, this week, I know it's slightly ironic as I say this to you, as you're probably watching me on a screen of one kind or another. But I'd encourage you to get out from behind those screens, get out from behind just reading the book, reading about the training, and get out there and do the difficult work, the practice it takes to train ourselves, to learn, to mature, to grow, to practice loving one another. Until next time, everyone stay safe, take care, and God bless.